I want to discuss something that I think I've seen in terms of the professional wrestling world, and that is politics influencing a change of mind in the fan base of professional wrestling. As a lot of you are all aware, the political landscape that we are in right now is drastically changed. People are not taking mainstream media's bullshit anymore. They're doing their own research. People are now not taking this crap, hence the reason why Donald Trump was elected as the United States president. Now, although I don't completely agree with Donald Trump, although I don't hate him, like, a lot of people will say, oh, I hate Donald Trump or whatever, but even that being said, it's kind of leaking into the professional wrestling world, because a lot of you will remember back in the 2000s, when we were watching professional wrestling, we were told what to do and what to like and what to feel and stuff like that. And this kind of the political landscape of things, when you look at a Gavin McGuinness, and you look at like a Milo, or you look at these guys, they are changing the political landscape by essentially giving their opinion. These guys are now the rock stars of the political world. And because of them, they have actually influenced, I would even say, a lot of professional wrestling fans to do their own research, because a lot of these professional wrestling fans were told, you need to like the indies, you need to like this, you need to like that. If you don't like him, you're wrong. You have to like SmackDown, you have to like Raw, you have to like this, you have to like that. And what's happening is that, and I've noticed this in terms of the YWC, I'm seeing a lot of guys. A perfect example would be the Smart Busters, for example. They were really, I would even say, the very first group of guys that would say, no, this is bullshit. Now, I know I've done stuff in the past where I've disagreed with a lot of things and stuff like that, in terms of what the indies have done to professional wrestling and stuff like that. But with the political change right now is that we are actually seeing people now doing their own research. They're actually researching, and they're actually checking out different information and what they actually like in professional wrestling. And what's happened is right now is the WWE are in a place right now where they're actually doing their programming to a generation that is actually well educated, a generation that actually will call you out on your bullshit, and if they don't like it, then they'll not watch it. It's that simple. The term has been thrown, Generation Z, which I'm technically, I am a millennial. I think it's people that are born between 19-something to 2004, should I say, excuse me, 1994, but from 1994 to now is like this other generation, which they will do their own research, they will check out everything, they will make sure that there's no bullshit anymore. And we are now seeing this in terms of the professional wrestling landscape, because now people aren't taking what these top wrestling channels are doing anymore. They're not taking their opinion on board. They don't care anymore. And I think that's a good thing. And a lot of people might say, well, this is a bad thing because they're going to bash wrestlers and they're going to... No, but at the end of the day, professional wrestling is an opinion based. It's an opinion where you don't have to like. If you don't like a wrestler, I don't care who it is. If you don't like him, then please state your opinion. People are deserving of that opinion. And what I've noticed maybe a few years ago, remember back in the day, maybe like 2006 to 2012, you seen like a lot of these people were like, me example, I would make videos and stuff, and people would say, oh no, you're wrong and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, please explain. But then a lot of these guys were actually silenced when they were giving out their political opinions, or in this case, their professional wrestling opinions. And the political landscape has actually changed people's perceptions of professional wrestling. We're now seeing a lot of people that aren't really into this indie thing, and they've been vocal about it, and they've said, I'm sorry, but I do not like this is horrible. Same way that they are actually pushing the women's division, trying to main event them on Raw, and in fact, their demographic for these females that are main eventing on WWE Raw actually dropped within teenage girls. It actually dropped dramatically. They actually didn't care. So WWE had this ideology that, oh, we need to push this is what's best for quote-unquote business, not to talk about the storyline and stuff. But what's happening is that they're seeing this, and they're like, wait, so what do we do then? And WWE are now backed in a corner where they actually have to do stuff creative. You can't just throw out a part-timer, although I do personally like Goldberg. I actually do like the fact that he is in WWE, and I hope he does beat Kevin Owens, in my opinion. But what we're seeing is wrestling fans are like, well, we actually don't want a skinny, anorexic guy winning the championship. We actually want real heroes. We want real heroes. Guys like Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold. They essentially... And it will happen. Mark my words, it will happen. WWE changes a lot, and I think WWE will look at what they're doing right now and try and implement changes to try and change it. Now, whether they do or not, it's up to them. But I do believe that WWE needs to maybe go back to basics, to what they were good at, and try and evolve into the way things are right now. And like I said, with the politics and stuff that we're seeing right now, it's very different, because politically a lot of people had to either watch BBC, Sky News, they had to watch Fox News, they had to watch CNN, and now people in the generation that we're seeing right now aren't seeing that anymore. They don't really care, because they know that they've been fed a bunch of lies, and they know because of the lies that have been given to them, they have to do their own research, and they have to do their own research to come up with their opinion. If you look at the way things are going right now, and a lot of people do bash the generations that are happening now, but the one thing that we've seen right now in terms of stuff that we're seeing in professional wrestling is that we're seeing more guys now that are giving their opinion that isn't the norm. You know, back in the day, you would see people that would turn around and go, well, I like Bayley, she was great, and she was fantastic, she went on the top rope, and she flipped, and she kicked, and it was great, I'm happy. You know, you would see that, but now you're seeing a wave of people coming in saying, no, that's not great, I actually don't like that. And what I really want to see is good wrestling, and also I want to be entertained. You see, with all this talk that we're seeing now in professional wrestling, the one thing that we're not seeing at all is creative storylines, and that is where WWE needs to go back to basics, because unfortunately what WWE have done is that they brought in guys from these other promotions and stuff, and they are literally putting them on mainstream television, and they are expecting a casual viewer to know who they are, when they actually don't know who they are. People that you might see on television, you might say, well, I know him because obviously I'm in the WWE world and stuff like that. That's completely fine. But for a casual fan that grew up watching The Rock and Stone Cold and stuff like that, this type of stuff doesn't apply to them. And that is why I do believe this, that the political landscape that we are seeing in today's society has, to not a whole lot, but to a certain degree, changed the landscape that what we're seeing right now in the professional wrestling world. And I actually do believe that that is an absolute excellent thing. I don't know, a lot of people do shit on the YWC a lot, and they always give them fucking crap, but there is actually people out there. If you even type in YWC, right, and just type in videos that are happening in that week, you will see a whole lot of people that will actually call people out in their bullshit. For example, me with the Josh Matthews things. There was also Wrestling Rampage. I remember they did a video on Josh Matthews, which I thought was very good. There's a lot of these other kind of professional wrestling channels that are out there that are changing the way we think and feel about professional wrestling, and it's more aiming to a demographic that has been forgotten about, and that is YouTubers on professional wrestling. I've even seen more people now that aren't liking what culture now because they feel as if their opinions have been insulted, because they've been told what to do. Like, for example, like, and I don't want to shit on them, I know I give them a lot of crap and stuff, what culture, but whenever I seen that video when they were patronizing and saying that the viewership wasn't going down on why it doesn't matter, it made my blood boil, because it was in denial, and I felt as if I needed to make that video, and I'd like to thank nearly 3,000 people for watching that video and actually agreeing with me. I thought I was going to be fucking slaughtered against what culture, but a lot of you guys, I took a risk going involved in this, and a lot of you guys were like, yeah, you're right, and I'm like, oh, thank God, you know, finally, you know, something without being judged on an opinion on professional wrestling. And I am actually really looking forward to maybe the opinions. Now, the professional wrestling that we're seeing right now is terrible, but if WWE are smart, they will look at what we're thinking and what we're feeling in terms of the landscape of WWE and might mold it into a better product ultimately. And that is why I feel as if that this is going to be something that can either do really, either they'll listen to this and do it really good, or they're gonna mess up and destroy us all. Because right now nobody wants to see a female main event on Raw. I'm not completely against it. I know a lot of people shit on it and stuff like that. I'm not completely against it. I do believe, like, if the story does, if a story is there, then a story is there, right? But you know, how many times are you gonna change the belt for the women's division? You know, that belt is went through more people than anything. And you think that with them learning their lesson with what they did before, and like I said, with the politics that we're seeing right now, it is molding people now to actually do their own research and come up with their own opinions. Also, guys, before I go, I actually want to apologize to WJ, because what happened was what happened was on the Hangout, I actually was interrupted him. It wasn't intentional or anything like that. It was just, it happened, you know, it was unintentional and stuff like that. And what happened was he was talking, and then because you guys know when I'm hyped up and stuff like that. So WJ, if you are watching this, I don't know if you are now, I just want to apologize to you, mate, because, you know, he's a fucking legend and stuff like that. So I do want to apologize to him for that, because I think I was over talking him and stuff like that, and you know, I just want to give a formal apology to WJ. But yes, guys, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out.